Imagine a CEO who treated company funds like a bottomless piggy bank, spending $2 million on a toga party and $6,000 on a shower curtain, because who doesn't need luxury even while getting squeaky clean? The Tyco International scandal isn't just about fraud. It's a wild tale of boardroom antics, unchecked ambition, and some truly jaw-dropping shopping sprees. Buckle up as we dive into one of the craziest tales of corporate greed, where lavish lifestyle takes on a whole new meaning. From modest beginnings to a mighty conglomerate, Tyco's rise. Tyco International was founded in 1960 by Arthur J. Rosenberg, who likely never imagined his company would one day be at the center of a notorious scandal. Initially, Tyco specialized in governmental and military research contracts, but it rapidly diversified, adding divisions in electronics, packaging, and fire protection. By the 1980s and 90s, Tyco was in acquisition overdrive, buying out companies to the tune of over 100 in just a few years. This aggressive expansion under CEO Dennis Kozlowski's watchful eye led Tyco to a market cap of $36.9 billion by the early 2000s. Kozlowski's leadership style may have mirrored that of a fast-paced tycoon, and Tyco's rapid ascent was a point of pride until, of course, it became Tyco's undoing. Kozlowski's taste for the finer things, $6,000 shower curtains and toga parties. Dennis Kozlowski's spending habits were an eyebrow-raising blend of luxury and absurdity. While most CEOs enjoy perks, Kozlowski's went above and beyond into the territory of ridiculously lavish. At the pinnacle of his spending was a $2 million toga-themed birthday party for his wife, thrown on the Mediterranean island of Sardinia. Complete with an ice sculpture of Michelangelo's David, this party was the ultimate show of luxury funded by Tyco's coffers. And then there was his $6,000 shower curtain and $15,000 umbrella stand for his Manhattan apartment, demonstrating that no luxury was too small to justify. The opulence became Tyco's public face and added to the eventual scandal, as the Securities and Exchange Commission would soon start questioning just how these luxuries were financed. A silent board of directors, oversight, or just plain overlooked? While Kozlowski and CFO Mark Schwartz were orchestrating the spending spree, the board of directors at Tyco seemed oddly silent. The board's role is to monitor and provide oversight for the company's financial health and executive spending. Yet Tyco's board appeared uninterested in questioning Kozlowski's obvious overindulgence. Some members may have been swayed by financial incentives, keeping them from rocking the boat. Then there were the auditors at PricewaterhouseCoopers, whose duty was to verify Tyco's financial records. Surprisingly, they also failed to identify the signs of excessive spending and malfeasance. Kozlowski's spending continued unchecked because those who were supposed to serve as Tyco's watchdogs instead became accomplices through inaction. The fraud uncovered, investigations begin, and secrets unfold. By 2002, Kozlowski's luxurious tastes and unusual transactions had attracted the attention of the Securities and Exchange Commission and Manhattan's District Attorney's Office. Investigators discovered that Kozlowski and Schwartz had misappropriated nearly $600 million through a combination of unauthorized stock sales and executive loans. These loans, supposed to be for corporate purposes, were instead used to fund personal expenses, with complex accounting tricks hiding the truth. Investigators were shocked not only by the magnitude of the fraud, but also by the boldness of its execution. Tyco's rapid growth provided a perfect smokescreen for the deceit. This discovery marked the beginning of the end for Kozlowski, whose ambition had finally outstripped his ability to hide his actions. A courtroom circus, the trial of Kozlowski and Schwartz. The trial of Kozlowski and Schwartz became a media sensation, and it wasn't hard to see why. The charges included grand larceny, conspiracy, and securities fraud, and the list of extravagant expenditures made for irresistible headlines. During court proceedings, prosecutors painted a vivid picture of Kozlowski's unchecked greed. Evidence presented included art purchases to avoid taxes, unauthorized loans, and of course, details of his extravagant parties. In 2005, Kozlowski and Schwartz were found guilty and sentenced to between 8 and 25 years in prison. The sentencing signaled a turning point in corporate America's handling of executive misconduct, showing that no one, no matter how wealthy or powerful, is above the law. Tax evasion with an artistic twist. On top of his misuse of company funds, Kozlowski was involved in creative tax evasion. He bought millions of dollars in fine art, including pieces by Renoir and Monet, then dodged New York's sales tax by shipping empty crates to Tyco's New Hampshire office. The idea was simple. He could claim the artwork wasn't subject to New York tax, while the paintings hung in his Manhattan home. This little sleight of hand provided prosecutors with yet another colorful example of his blatant disregard for rules and regulations. His art collection became part of the scandal's lore, turning his schemes into something that seemed almost like performance art. The impact on investors, shareholders take the hit. As details of the scandal leaked, Tyco's stock price took a nosedive, collapsing by nearly 80% and erasing billions in shareholder value. Loyal investors, many of whom were retirees relying on Tyco shares for financial security, saw their savings evaporate almost overnight. Tyco's reputation was in tatters, with the once steadfast trust investors had in the company now replaced by anger and betrayal. The financial losses forced Tyco to confront investor grievances through multiple class action lawsuits and settlements. Ultimately, Tyco agreed to pay a staggering $3.2 billion in compensation to shareholders, one of the largest settlements of its kind. Yet, while this payout helped some recover part of their investments, it couldn't erase the blow to retirees' futures or restore trust in a company hollowed out by its leaders' unchecked ambition. This scandal highlighted the devastating real-world impacts of executive misconduct on ordinary people, leaving a cautionary tale in its wake. Corporate reform, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act and Tyco's role in change. The Tyco scandal, along with others like Enron, became a major catalyst for corporate reform. In 2002, Congress passed the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which set new standards for corporate governance, financial transparency, and executive accountability. Among its key features, Sarbanes-Oxley required CEOs and chief financial officers to personally certify the accuracy of financial reports and impose severe penalties for corporate fraud. This reform aimed to prevent future scandals by demanding greater responsibility from corporate leaders and ensuring that watchdogs like auditors could no longer overlook misdeeds. Thanks to Tyco, corporate accountability took a leap forward, reshaping the ethical landscape of U.S. businesses. Ethical lessons from Tyco: the importance of corporate culture. Beyond the financial losses, the Tyco scandal provided a stark lesson in the importance of corporate ethics and accountability, especially at the executive level. Kozlowski's unchecked ambition and disregard for corporate governance highlighted how easily a company's culture can deteriorate without strong ethical foundations and clear boundaries. Tyco's story quickly became a staple in business schools, serving as a powerful case study on how unchecked power and personal greed can corrode not only a company's finances but also its core values and mission. The scandal showed that when corporate culture is tainted by leaders who prioritize personal gain, it creates a toxic environment, leading to mistrust, demoralization, and potential financial ruin for everyone involved. This toxic culture doesn't only harm the company, it impacts employees, stakeholders, and shareholders alike. Tyco's fall stands as a potent warning. Without a steadfast commitment to ethics and transparency, even the most successful businesses can lose their way, sacrificing long-term stability for fleeting, short-term gains. Restructuring and redemption: Tyco's road to recovery. Despite the scandal, Tyco managed to survive and even thrive in the years that followed. Under the leadership of new CEO Ed Breen, Tyco implemented major reforms, overhauling corporate governance and restructuring the company. Tyco divested some of its divisions, including its healthcare unit, later spun off as Covidien, and its security arm, AEDT. By focusing on core strengths and emphasizing ethical practices, Tyco rebuilt its reputation, eventually merging with Johnson Controls in 2016. The company's resurgence showed that while scandals can cause substantial damage, businesses can recover through transparency, integrity, and resilience. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Tyco's jaw-dropping scandal. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories. We'll keep you entertained and maybe even a little shocked with more tales from the corporate jungle. See you in the next video.